Haha, we are on. Hello, everyone. Good morning to some of you. Good afternoon to others. Super excited to talk about this topic because, oh my goodness, does this get asked about a lot in the group. If you are watching us live, drop us a hashtag live, say hello. For those of you who don't know, I am Brittany. I'm one of the admins, and I am here with the amazing regenerative health specialist, Amy Kranicki, and we are going to talk about detox and parasites. Oh, hi, Amy. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Brittany. How are you? It's one of my
Um,
favorite topics.
yes, I'm so excited to partner with you and talk about this. So, for our members who maybe don't know you yet, give us a little bit of your background and your story.
Yeah. My background, my background is in regenerative health. I became a practitioner this summer because I've been practicing it for about 2 years and learning and growing in a community with some amazing women that have been trained by Dr. Robert Morris and Zach Bush. And what regenerative health is really getting to the root cause. You might have heard of the term regenerative farming, and it's kind of the same, similar. We're really putting more into the body than pulling out. Um, I love using regeneratively grown food as nutrient therapies during this process. My healing journey, I've always dealt with anxiety and depression in my teens years, and then I had weird aches and pains showing up, and I didn't really know what was going on. I had a lot of questions, and I grew up in Chicago. I didn't have anyone talking to me about food as medicine. I grew up on McDonald's and mac and cheese, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia about 12 years ago, and I listened to the doctors. I had three different kinds of doctors. They were giving me all sorts of pills, pills to cover up the symptoms of the other pills. And it was a horrible way of living. And I finally was like, okay, like the side effects of the antidepressants were giving me suicidal thoughts. And I was like, I'm either going to live or die. Like that's basically where it came to. And I asked my doctors to help me figure out what was the side effects and what was not. Help me transition to cannabis to get off of some of these. And they dropped me. So I had to figure it out on my own. And until I really found regenerative health, I was in Facebook groups, in fibromyalgia groups, searching for answers and seeing what worked with someone and what worked with someone else. And now I've completely reversed fibromyalgia. I have no symptoms, I have no flares, and I have not dealt with depression or anxiety since I started working on my gut health too. So, what I know now is that I was toxic, that everything I was doing was wrong, that and it's okay. Like I only knew what I knew, and it's not my parents' fault. It's no one's fault. It's just what I had to go through to get to where I'm at now, and that's why I'm so passionate about sharing what I found with others because I don't want anyone else to have to go through life suffering. Like I didn't figure this out till a couple of years ago when I was 40. So that's a long time. I suffered with over a decade of chronic pain stuff. So it's been a journey, but it's been really amazing and brings me a lot of joy to help others through this right now.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's so important because that's so many of us, right? Like we just do what we're told from the doctors.
Yeah.
We assume, right, that they like know what to do, but as we awaken and as we get more knowledge, we realize that pretty much everything that they want to teach us is going to keep us sick. It's not really going to give us the answers. Their solution is that pill for every ill. And they really don't focus on gut health, the microbiome, and what it affects it, and how literally our gut affects absolutely everything. We have the gut heart connection, we have the gut brain connection, we have the gut skin connection. Like literally, it affects absolutely everything in our bodies in terms of our overall health, and
Yeah.
it's of little focus to
Yeah,
them.
totally. And it seems so like I think we overcomplicate everything so much. Like I see people in this group like asking all these questions, and it's like literally like what 95% of them can be solved by gut health. Like it all starts in the gut. And we've all just been, and even I mean I thought I was healthy. No one's healthy. Like we don't
Right.
have that control because our food is not food. We're walking around eating, even if we're eating organic, we're eating food that is grown with quick farming practices with soil that doesn't have nutrients. And we've been taking antibiotics, glyphosate, the main chemical in Roundup is an antibiotic. It kills our gut microbiome. It covers our gut and doesn't let us absorb. So we're just like walking around pretty much starving, eating fake food and getting chemicals blasted at us from the air and water. And we need to be detoxing. We
Yeah.
need to, yeah. So
Yeah, it's so important because, yes, our body has a natural detox process, right? But we are literally bombarded with such a huge amount of chemicals every day. Like, what was that EWG study? And I can't remember at the top of my head, but I think it's like 280 chemicals on average that a woman puts on her skin a day, like before she even leaves her home. And then they're spraying our skies, they're spraying our foods. All of a sudden the whole country is burning. Here in the US, they're burning chemicals. They're literally poisoning us for profit. So,
yeah,
yes, our
yeah,
liver and our body does an amazing job, but it needs to be healthy in order to be able to detox properly. Gut health plays a huge role in that, and we also have to do things to support that natural process, because let's face it, like most of us aren't healthy, even like me, we're going to talk about the, parasites right now. Like, I eat a lot of sushi. Guess what? I got a parasite, even though like I eat healthy, right?
mhm.
So I think this is an important topic, and so many people just we need to detox not only from all the chemicals, but people, the media.
Yeah, totally. Everything is energy and frequency, right? So like from the food we're eating, like the low vibrational dead food that doesn't have nutrients in it, to the to emotional, like that's on an acid and alkaline scale that we work on when I work with clients, like anger, anxiety, those kind of like you got to detox people from your life. Like when you're trying to raise your vibe, you can't be around that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so let's talk more about detox. So, what are some ways that we can help our body, just support that natural detox process?
To support naturally, I would recommend fruit. Absolutely fruit. Fruit are our cleansers. So in the morning, every morning I wake up and I start my day with lemon water. Lemon water neutralizes the acidity. Like every little cell in our body regenerates and um, poops, basically, like everything does. So we have cellular waste and it goes into our lymphatic system, and we need to get that stuff moving out of us. Our lymph doesn't have that pump like our heart does. So I do some gentle jumping and movement and walking in the morning to get my lymphatic system going, and dry brushing, stuff like that. That stuff's free. Meditation. um, but really, then I start with fruit. I do proper food combining. So I am eating fruit in the morning because fruit digests quick within 20 to 30 minutes. Melons even digest faster. Melons digest with the pectin in your saliva. So melons should be eaten alone. And when you're doing that, like you're just really hydrating your bowels and getting the toxins moving. So the morning is so important. So I usually start my day with fruit, then I'll move on to like raw, like a salad or something. And then at night, if I wanted to be doing cooked foods, I do cooked foods at night. So I kind of go in that order, because fruit are our cleansers, vegetables and raw foods are our builders. They'll slow detox down. and cooked food will stop a detox. So you can even get more intense and do like mono fruit or juiced fruit and stuff like that. But that's just fruit. Just add some fruit into your diet if I would
Right.
suggest anything for anyone.
For sure. What are
Mhm.
some other things that we can do that just help support detox? Like, are there supplements we should be taking? I know you mentioned like lymph brushing. I do lymph brushing regularly.
Mhm.
I also like castor oil packs. What are some other strategies that people can utilize to just help the body process
Mhm.
all the toxins that we're
Yeah.
bombarded with every day?
Yeah, I mean that's great. Watching what you're putting on your skin, but getting your elimination pathways open is what I'd be suggesting. So, breath work is super potent. Breath work can remove, what is it, 70% of toxins just through your breath work alone. So, like I have a full moon group going right now, and Mondays we're doing calls. So last night we did Kundalini yoga, and that it's all about breath. So we're just concentrating on moving stuff out of our breath. So our lungs is one elimination pathway, our skin. So we talked about dry brushing. Saunas are great too. Sweating, getting stuff out through your skin. Sometimes when you're detoxing and other elimination pathways aren't open, that's when you're getting pimples and stuff. Stuff will come through your skin. Um, your bowels, so making sure that you have proper bowel movements. Um, and
Question on that.
mhm.
So, Western medicine 3 times a week is considered normal.
Whoa.
How often should people be having a bowel movement, Amy? And what should
Yeah.
these bowel movements look and feel like?
They shouldn't be painful. They should be just like a happy consistency of not too runny, not too hard. I've heard some people, yeah, I mean, I don't know. But I would say twice a day at least. Like if you're eating solid foods, you should have a poop. Like at least a daily like, but
Right,
usually it's more than daily. Like it's like you eat, you poop. You
right.
just like those little dolls you had when you grew up. Like
One or 2 times a day, I think is normal.
absolutely.
Yeah, they should be solid. They should not be super smelly. That's a sign that you're pretty toxic,
Yeah,
right?
good point. Hmm.
Uh, it just sometimes when I hear people, they're like, "Oh yeah, like twice a week," and I'm like, "What? What?"
Yeah. And that's a sign you need deeper herbs. Like,
For sure, for sure.
and I don't suggest just like, I'm not a big fan of throwing out just like one word herbs for people to like
Yeah.
go buy and like pumpkin seeds or something. Like, I don't think that that is a great method to detox. I think you should work with someone that is a practitioner like myself or Brittany, someone that is going to guide you through it. And
Mhm.
I, I'm familiar with cellcore. I'm familiar with some harsher things. And what I found, what I do with my groups is we're giving you nutrients to put in, um, so that the detox isn't horrible, that you're not pulling things out indiscretionary. You're not pulling out your essential vitamins and nutrients. Like some of those binders, you really have to be careful. They're harsh. Yeah, the bentonite clay, like all of that stuff. You can't just willy-nilly it. I mean, you're gonna put yourself in worse situations. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a,
absolutely. That's I get so nervous when people ask questions, in the group and they're like, "What should I take for this and what should I take for that?" And people are just like recommending so many things in the comments and I'm like, "We don't know how that's going to affect your body and if you just start taking things like you're going to end up especially if you're really toxic and you just start, taking something like
yeah,
summer reactions, they're not fun. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
very
and
unpleasant.
it can be dangerous to like stir up heavy metals and not have your elimination pathways open. Like that other elimination pathway I would think I didn't talk about was the kidneys. The kidneys are an important one, and I guarantee most people's kidneys are not filtering. um, you can check it very easily.
What
with
can we do? How can we check that? I
yeah,
don't have
you can
any
check your
open.
kidneys if they're open by taking like a big spaghetti glass jar, like, and putting that in the bathroom. And then in the morning, your first urine of the morning, peeing into that glass jar and let it sit for a couple minutes, half hour, 20 minutes. Like it should, the color doesn't really matter. The color shows if you're hydrated or not, yes. But what we're looking for is white little specks. It should look like a snow globe. Um, it should be cloudy. Like that means that there's cellular waste filtering through your kidneys. Like mine are barely filtering right now. And I've been on this journey in detox, but I've also been on pharmaceuticals for over 12 years of this life and birth control for over 20 years and worked at Bath and Body Works and did all the things that like I had no idea and was coloring my hair and I had a lot of exposure to toxins. I lived in mold. I didn't know what that was. Like, I have so many things that I like. Every one of us is just so different, though. Like, we each have this like toxic bucket. I have this handout that we can do, maybe. But everything, and you could be in the same house in the same conditions as someone, and they're fine, and you're having all these symptoms. But it's the environment, really, that you're putting your
And
body in.
it's what we're, like what we've been exposed to like our whole lives. When we first moved to Arizona, we found out my mom started getting these like crazy weird symptoms. I mean, like just chronic fatigue. She just never felt good. It started to like mess with her hands where she couldn't even like close her hands. And she went to multiple doctors, like nobody could figure out what was wrong with her. Me and my stepdad weren't having any issues at all.
Mhm.
Found out that our house had mold, and this
Mm,
was affecting her, but had no effect, at least not a noticeable effect, on me and my stepdad. I'm sure it did have, some type of effect on us, but my mom was really, really suffering. And as soon as we moved out of that house, all her symptoms, disappeared.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's step one of dealing with mold is getting out of the mold.
yeah, yeah. And I know that's hard, for a lot of people. I mean, like people are like, what am I going to do?
Absolutely.
Um, like how do I just move? And I see that we're, going to experience this in, Ohio right now. Like I saw on the news, like this couple, they just bought a house, right? Like they're tied up, like they have no money to just get up and leave. They're experiencing migraines and nosebleeds and, all kinds of weird symptoms, and they can't leave. So, yeah, that's not ideal, but doing whatever we can to help support our body in that detox process. If we
Yeah.
can't, leave the situation, which, ideally that's what we want to do, but we've just got to do whatever we can. And even if we're not exposed to that, we're exposed to so much crap. Everything that our food is packaged in, the plastics, the stuff, our mattresses, off gas chemicals, like our clothes, like
Mhm. Our flooring, the wood floors,
the
that's
skies,
off-gassing, yeah, everything.
everything, like, so we've really got to do a good job of just helping our body be able to get rid of these toxins. And so important, because
Mhm.
that's why everybody feels like crap.
Yeah, 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 there's a lot of yeah. We've been working with, a new product, the zeolites, that have been really effective that I think would be super helpful for people in Ohio right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got the zeolites, and I've been talking to people, and
Mhm.
they can be very beneficial in pulling out a lot of this garbage.
Yeah.
And speaking of pulling out garbage, I'm so excited to talk about parasites with you.
Yeah, you just had one come out, right?
Yes, I
That's
did.
pretty cool.
Yeah, a little shocking. I was like, whoa. I assume that it's probably from sushi, because we eat a lot of sushi. I'm definitely thinking that I'm no longer going to get sushi at Sprouts. Maybe that was my problem. But yeah, that can be super jarring, right? But like, how many of us are actually like living with parasites and we don't know?
Yeah, yeah, we all are. They really all are. They love heavy metals. They love like pretty much anyone that's dealing with an autoimmune or cancer. You have a high parasite load. That's what's going on. It's causing an imbalance. Um, and it's nothing to be scared of. It's just something that we can work through, and you should get with someone. And like everyone is at different levels, and having someone know where you're at so that you don't get sick, and having that die off, and working through when you have um, detox symptoms, knowing that it's a detox symptom, not rushing to go get a pill to cover that up because then you're just going to have to go through it all over again.
Right.
So working with someone is super important to go through those steps together.
Yeah, absolutely. Because even though I'm, very well educated in this, I'm going through this detox, process right now. I prepared my body for a week and a half prior to
Mhm.
starting the protocol that I'm doing, to make sure that those detox pathways were open, to make sure that, my body is nourished and prepared for, getting rid just in case there are any more. I want to make sure so trying to do this like on your own, you can have some really negative side effects, because I've even noticed, I've got some brain fog, some fatigue, just a little bit of just not feeling like myself, right? And
Mhm.
that's because I am, detoxing, but I'm
Yeah.
doing all the things, right? I'm lymph freshing, I'm doing the castor oil packs, I'm doing lymph massage, making sure those pathways are open. um, taking things that I know help support the body's detox process. So, walk us through kind of like the preparation, because you have this. So, funny thing, this full moon, this upcoming full moon, you guys, is the worm full moon. So, perfect time to do a parasite detox. So,
Yeah.
walk us kind of through this process that you have for your clients, and what they do, and what they utilize so that they can get rid of these without feeling like total garbage and
Yeah.
harming themselves.
Well, what it looks like to work with me kind of in this realm, we started Saturday, so that we can do 10 days of prep work of cleaning up our diet, easing into removing dairy, meat, grains, processed foods and sugars, stuff like that, stuff that the parasites love. That's what they're feeding on. That's what they're like, those cravings that you get, that's them. They've overgrown and that's what they like. So we are cleaning that up and replacing it with a really amazing alkaline green shake that you're going to be doing twice a day. You're going to be doing amino acids that, um, so you're getting all of the protein, which you don't need all that protein anyways, but that's a whole different thing. You need fruit for energy, for ATP, but and then you're going to start by slowly detoxing glyphosate. You're going to be doing a probiotic and prebiotic and gently binding to those toxins and mold and heavy metals. That'll take that out, this wonderful product. And then doing tart cherry juice at night to open up your kidneys. That's really great for kidney filtration and also getting really good sleep. Like, highly do not recommend taking melatonin over the counter and isolate. Like, tart cherry will create natural melatonin in your body. So that is the only safe way to be doing something night after night that helps your body. If you take like if you take stuff, you'd stop making it. So if you're taking like isolated melatonin, like those huge end caps to have at
Mhm.
Costco in your drugstore, so wild, it stops your body from creating it. So sleep is so important for regeneration. So that's where our body is regenerating, our brain, everything is detoxifying. So getting healthy, good sleep is super important. So we're just easing in those first 10 days, and then we'll add in deeper herbs for parasite cleansing the next 10 days. And we'll be doing this again the second month in, I guess we're doing the full moon in March, April. We'll be doing it again. Um, so people could join in on that April full moon if they wanted. because you do the first parasite cleanse to clean out the parasites, and then the second time you do it again, and they've been laying eggs when they're dying off to kind of save their species. So you go back in and do it again and clean it out again. So, um, but it takes time. It's like a commitment, and you've had a lifetime of toxins. It doesn't just go away overnight. I really
Right.
like to have people commit to a 90-day protocol of
Yeah.
really just deeply nourishing and cleaning out your food. And I'm not suggesting you need to be vegan, but I'm looking more at the alkaline and acidic side of things because the parasites can't live in an alkaline environment. They're thriving in acid. So whatever you want to argue about meats and eggs and stuff, like it's just chemistry and science that we're working with. So yeah.
Yeah. What do you say for people who maybe have like a lot of intolerances to, like grains or vegetables? Like how are they able to, properly like nourish during this process if those foods are, giving them some issues?
Well, one, if you have food sensitivities and allergies and stuff, you have a gut issue. That's you're not born with allergies. Allergies are from toxins, it's from a backed up lymphatic system. So one, I would say to do this so you can reverse all that. And like people that are at a more toxic level, people that are dealing with mold and SIRS, stuff like that, I have a group for that. We walk them through a little more slowly. Like the
Mhm.
grain shake that most people start with is sprouted grains, but sometimes we can go deeper and do a grain-free shake too. So I customize that with people. And we can really customize the food. I know some people have started like with Lyme, like are only eating like 5 different things.
Yeah.
So we really just customize that for you. And I mean, I've seen people that were like in a wheelchair with Lyme and now are playing pickleball and their gray hair is coming back in brown. So
It's
it's a
amazing what
journey.
nourishing our bodies and getting rid of all the toxins can do for our health. It's so
Mhm.
incredible, and I mean, you see stories, you hear things. I mean, like Dr. Terry Walls, right? I mean, she was wheelchair bound with MS, and now she cycles miles and miles and miles, and she did that through diet and lifestyle and detoxing her body with things like the sauna. um, we need to be sweating. We need to be making sure that those pathways are open. We need to be making sure that we're getting, lots of nutrients into our bodies so that we are able to get rid of the bad guys.
Yeah, yeah. It's just finding that balance. And then I feel like at 90 days, you've really learned to create these habits
Yeah.
and then you can find balance. Like I'm not detoxing all the time, but every morning I'm waking up and doing lemon water and
Yeah,
doing one shake of greens that are going to be starting my day. Like that morning is how you start your day is just so important.
absolutely. Absolutely. I think, like that sets up your day for success. And I have a pretty long morning routine, which is why I don't like to do anything before 11 a.m. because I'm like, because there is that time, yes, I'm like getting up, I'm doing my water in the morning, my tea, journaling, yoga, my meditation, and then I'm, getting ready for the day. And I think that just like, sets you up. And if you work early in the mornings and you don't have all that time, still just like take time to just make sure that you're getting in those nutrients. I'm taking my greens in the morning too. Like if you've got to prepare it the night before, if you're always in a rush in the morning, try waking up 15 minutes earlier. Just setting yourself up for success for the rest of the day can like really change the outcome of your entire day. It's
Absolutely.
really important.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like my morning is precious.
Yeah, yeah, that is my time. It's my time to myself. Someone's like,
Mhm.
"Can you meet at 9 o'clock?" I'm like, "No, no, no, I cannot." Like that is my time for me. That is when I, take care of myself. That's my self-care time. So, whether you have a lot of time or not in the morning, set aside 15 minutes and just make sure that you are checking in with yourself, whether that's meditation, doing some stretching, making sure that you get in some nutrients, your vitamins, your minerals for the day, and just set yourself up so that you can have an amazing day, because that is available to all of us. Um,
Mhm.
you know, so if people are interested in this Parasite cleanse with you, Amy, what do they do? How do they get a hold of you? How do they sign up?
Yeah, they can reach out to message me directly. My website is on my profile as well, and you can book a free 15-minute consult from there. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm just open take people, and I think doing a one-on-one call is really something that's powerful to see if we jive and where you're at. I mean, everyone is different, so you need someone that's going to be able to spend some face time with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's so important too to, work with someone instead of trying to DIY our health, which I think a lot of people do. But when
Yeah.
my car breaks down, guess what? I go to a mechanic because I don't know all the things about my car. I could
Right.
change my oil, I could change my tire. I don't really want to though. I'd rather have
Mhm.
somebody else do that. But if something's going on, I need a mechanic. I need them to figure out what the problem is, and then I need them to fix it.
Yeah.
Um, Same thing with like plumbing, like a pipe breaks or drain is clogged. Like, guess who I'm going to call? I'm going to call a plumber because that's not my scope of expertise. I don't know how to fix that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we assume that it's like, oh, I'm going to just try to fix it myself. But we're not taught about nutrition. We're not taught about detoxing. We're not taught about the human body and all of the, factors that play into it. Like, growing up, that's not a part of
Yeah.
our
It's a lot.
education. And so people end up, looking up Dr. Google all the time, and then they wonder why they're not any better than, when they started, or they get worse, or they try these crazy like detox cleanses and this skinny teas and all
Yeah.
these like
Yeah.
magic supplements, that are like low cost, and they can cause a lot of damage and a lot of harm. So, you are worthy of investing in. You are important. We need to literally like take back control of our health. If we see what's going on right now, like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Like, our bodies are important. We've got to do this for ourselves. We need to do this for our families, for our children. Like, we need
Yeah.
to make our health a priority, and
And
investing in ourselves is important.
what I love about doing this with me and what I found with this, like, is that we can create a community where everyone's doing it together too. And you have someone like, I was looking for this for a while, and I never felt comfortable just buying something online because I didn't have someone to physically like be able to talk to.
Right.
So that's what you get when you work with me and someone that's a practitioner. Like, you
Yeah.
get someone that knows and could
Right.
get answers. So
Yeah. And
mhm.
someone to help figure out what specifically can help you, because there
Mhm.
are so many factors at play. One thing that works for one person, the one thing that works for me might not work for Amy. The thing that
Mhm.
works for Amy might not work for me, because we are all bio individual, and our microbiomes play into that, the way we were raised, where we were raised, what we've been exposed to, our preferences, our likes, our dislikes, all of these things
Yeah.
like play a role in that. And health is customized. Like,
Mhm.
these protocols are customized. People will message me all the time and they're like, hey, give me your parasite protocol. And I'm like, I don't have like one that just is blanketed. Like,
Right.
everything that I do for my clients is completely personalized. Like, yeah, there's some certain things like, we know that clove and black walnut and,
Mhm.
certain herbs help get rid of parasites, but like in terms of like dosages and timing and like when to take what, like those things, that all needs to be from a conversation with a person one on one, to figure out what the steps should be. So I think it's
Mhm.
super important. So
Mhm. Yeah, totally.
yeah, awesome. If you guys have any questions below, drop them in the comments. Feel free to reach out to Amy. Get in on this parasite cleanse, you guys. Like, I'm super stoked about this. I'm ready to get rid of anything else that is like in my body that does not belong in my body. And just think, like, I've done a gut healing protocol. I eat super healthy. I've tested my glyphosate levels and they're negligible. So I'm doing all the right things, and yet I'm still susceptible to it. So if you're like eating a highly processed diet and you're on multiple medications and you don't feel good, like, all of these factors, like, you probably have some parasites. I think that
Absolutely.
more people, when we talk about, like the crazies during the full moon, like, it's the parasites, you guys, that
Right.
makes
Yeah.
people crazy. They literally have their own consciousness and try to take over our bodies. Like, it's as crazy as that sounds, it's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. It's true.
So we need to do what we can to protect ourselves, to keep our bodies healthy, detox from all of the stuff that we're exposed to, and get rid of the bad guys, because they don't belong in us and they literally make people crazy.
Crazy. Yep.
So awesome. Thank you so much, Amy. This has been wonderful. You guys message Amy directly, get in on, is there still time to get in on this one? I know you said
Yeah,
you started.
they could join right now too.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's no exclusions,
Perfect.
we can
Perfect. So
regulate the time that works best for them too.
yeah, chat with her. She's got everything that you'll need too, like, all in one. Like, you don't have
Mhm.
to go here, go there, or buy different things. Like, it's all packaged up specifically for you. You have the community, so you can talk about what comes out of you with other people.
Absolutely. Everyone would be excited.
Yeah.
So
So awesome. Thank you guys so much.
thanks so
Thank you
much,
so
Brittany.
much, Amy, for being here and coming in and talking about one of my favorite topics. And
Yeah,
we'll
thanks.
talk soon.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Bye.